you have an opportunity to give to the people who gave the ultimate. Find out what it's all about coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to the Carolina People. This morning we're at the new offices of the American Heart Association's Waccamaw Division, located here in Myrtle Beach on 44th Avenue North. We're focused on the local events surrounding the Police Unity Tour, and we're visiting with Officer Brenda Christy of the Myrtle Beach Police Department. Good morning, Officer Christy. Do you mind if I call you Brenda?
Please.
Since we're sitting here and you're not in uniform, and obviously we're in the Heart Association's office, what about these local offices?
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful, and thank you so much for having me this morning.
Oh yeah, Ryan Hannon was with us yesterday promoting the START, the big event which kicks off in October. I mean, obviously kicks off now, but the big walk itself, the celebration of START Waccamaw area is in October, and then later in the week, Linda Page from HCC will be with us. But of course, our real focus, she'll be with us on Friday morning, and Friday morning is a big day on the local scene, starting off down in, I think you said, in Georgetown, South Carolina at 7:30 in the morning. It's a wonderful event. The Police Unity Tour, it's comprised of local, state, and federal officers from all up and down the East Coast. They're actually riding from Glencoe, Georgia, all the way to Washington, D.C. on bicycles. Oh, come on.
That's 950 miles, and the purpose for their ride is to ride for all officers who've been killed in the line of duty. So their first stop is actually going to be in Georgetown, South Carolina at 7:30 in the morning on High Market Street at the Law Enforcement Center there to honor Officer Spencer Gary, who was killed in line of duty in 1994. After that ceremony, they'll be coming up to Myrtle Beach, to the Grand Strand, and they'll be stopping at Oceanwood Cemetery at 2408 South Kings Highway to honor our very first police officer who was killed in line of duty. He was actually killed in 1949, his very first day of duty. His name's Henry Howard Scarborough. So they'll be doing a short service there, and then they'll get back on Kings Highway on their bicycles and travel to our law enforcement center, Ted C. Collins Law Enforcement Center, 1101 Oak Street, for a ceremony for Officer Joe McGarry. He was a Myrtle Beach police officer killed in line of duty in 2002.
In 2002?
Yes.
Boy, Brenda. So it spans, at least on the Myrtle Beach side, it spans from the 1940s to 2002
Correct.
Of officers who'll be recognized.
Right, correct. Then after they leave our service, they're going to go out to Conway to honor all officers in Horry County that have been killed in line of duty at the Conway Courthouse. And that's going to be roughly at 12:30 in the afternoon, and all these services are open to the public. We'd really like to have the public present at these ceremonies.
What'll be very emotional ceremonies for a lot of folks there, and even for the folks who visit or have never attended an event like that. Probably a very powerful ceremony. I saw the itinerary for the two in Myrtle at 10:45 and 11:30, and obviously with the bagpipes playing and otherwise, I'm sure they're very emotional ceremonies.
Yes, absolutely. We have our honor guard, and the surviving family members for Officer Scarborough as well as Officer McGarry will be in attendance. Our honor guard will come in and lay a wreath at the sites of these officers, and then a local bagpipe organization, Myrtle Beach Regional Band, I believe, will be using their bagpipes and playing Amazing Grace to this. And we'll have some ceremony as far as a moment of silence and some prayer for the safety of these riders going all the way to Washington. There's also some presentations this year. The Myrtle Beach Police Department was actually able to raise some funds this year for the Police Unity Tour.
Really?
And also, we also established a scholarship fund for Officer Joe McGarry. Officer McGarry was a graduate student at Webster University, and unfortunately he was tragically killed before he could graduate. So this year it's going to be actually a special year because through our efforts and the local community and business owners getting behind us, we're actually able to raise a little over $7,000 for this.
$7,000? That's tremendous.
Since February,
part of just in the last couple of months.
Right.
Part of that going to the Police Unity Tour, and obviously a big chunk, $5,000 of that going to the scholarship.
The surviving family members will actually be presenting the check for the amount that the City of Myrtle Beach Police Department was able to raise. And I think that's a very, very special honor. And the McGarry family will actually be presenting a check at their son's ceremony to dignitaries of Webster University for scholarship in Joe's honor.
That is wonderful. Another great reason for viewers all over the area to come on down and be there at the Ted C. Collins Law Enforcement Center at 11:30 on Friday morning, but even the event out at Ocean Woods, if they can only attend a couple events, and right here in Myrtle, if they can't be at Georgetown at 7:30, but possibly could even take lunch break there at 12:30 to be in Conway there at the courthouse to experience. It's a must be a magnificent celebration of life, at the same time celebrating the officers for making the trip to honor folks who've been lost their lives.
And
Boy.
for those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. But yes, with 4 ceremonies at various times in the morning and then spreading on out into the afternoon, we're really hoping that if you can't make the Georgetown service, stop by for the Myrtle Beach services, or even out to Conway to the Conway services.
Right. Absolutely. Brenda, real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
No, sir. I'm actually from Fairmont, West Virginia. Came down here with my family several times on vacation and just found Myrtle Beach to just be a wonderful place, not only to vacation, but then to ultimately live and start a career.
Absolutely. What year was that? Do you mind me asking, not to date you there, but
yeah,
just to, you've been in Myrtle Beach for quite a while.
Right. Yeah. Ever since I graduated college in '87, I was coming down, and then I started, I started my career in law enforcement in '87 with the Myrtle Beach Police Department.
I saw that in November of '87.
Right.
So having just celebrated 2 decades of service.
Yes.
That is tremendous.
Really blessed.
Actually, next Thursday we will have Chief Deputy of the Horry County Sheriff's Office, Paul Butler.
Oh, great.
On the 8th, who will on the 9th be celebrating his 20 years of service in law enforcement. Paul Butler there. So the two of y'all should have gotten together and highlighted your 20-year recognitions together. That's fantastic. What is it about law enforcement that really got you interested 20 years ago, Brenda?
It's really just serving the public. Law enforcement sometimes can be seen in a negative aspect because obviously you have to incarcerate people at times, but it's also a good opportunity to reach out and actually help people, and I think that's what my calling is, and that's why I've been in this career. It certainly wasn't a career that I thought I was going to be in. I was kind of led in that direction, and I've been very blessed to be doing it this long.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A little more about the Police Unity Tour. Clearly this is something that's old hat to you to some degree. I'll hold up this shot here for viewers. I think this was from, am I correct, 2006?
That's correct. 4 Myrtle Beach police officers in 2006 rode the 3-leg journey of this event, rode from Chesapeake, Virginia to Washington, D.C., and that's actually 250 miles in 3 days. And we were riding for the fallen officers, the Myrtle Beach officers, Officer Scarborough and Officer McGarry. So what an honor that was.
And who are the other folks here with you?
Michael DeMoore, Bob Suter, and Kim Poirier.
Is that right? So y'all made you said 250 miles.
Yes, sir, in 3 days.
Now, no more, yes, sir, you're not in uniform, and we are casual here. It's a Tuesday morning, so we got to take it easy. But, of course, over a 3-day period, y'all were doing that. That is incredible. Obviously, the commitment there, and it's something that clearly the entire force wraps around. You 4 are the representatives for everybody to be up there, and that probably required quite a bit of training to get ready for that. How'd you prepare for that in 2006, Brenda?
Well, the Myrtle Beach Marathon, actually the day after that marathon, they have a bicycle ride. They have a 10-mile, 30-mile, and a 64-mile. And we committed to that ride, and we rode in that ride, and then we just kept training outdoors on our road bikes as well as indoor on stationary bikes. And it was quite a commitment. As you know, our terrain is very flat compared to the hills of Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
And when we hit Richmond, the hills were really pretty steep, and it was a very big commitment. And also, they ride in inclement weather. If it rains or if it's cold, they're riding for the officers that gave the ultimate sacrifice, so we don't stop just because the weather's bad. So it was quite a discipline to do that, and quite an honor.
In May, hopefully there wasn't any, was it in May also in 2006?
That's
hopefully
correct.
There wasn't any snow, but there was probably, did you all experience rain?
We did experience some rain.
Wow.
It wasn't severe, so that was a true blessing. But we also start very early in the morning, sometimes as early as 6 and 6:30 in the morning. So it's a little chilly in Virginia.
Right. Even in May, that's right.
Exactly. Yeah. But it would warm up in the afternoons, and then it would get hot. So you experience different types of weather.
How exciting. I mean, how fascinating to think about that showing of as you go from town to town, or back in 2006, and what they're probably going to experience starting this Thursday and running through the following Thursday. As you go from town to town, are there departments that will meet you at different town intervals to kind of guide you along, or is it just these four, or in that instance, there how many folks that are riding along together?
There's several hundred riding,
Okay.
and you're exactly right, Greg. Many of the towns have had fallen officers, unfortunately.
Right.
Just in 2007 alone, we had over 300 officers killed in the line of duty in the United States. And that's what I really like to concentrate and let the public be aware of. So unfortunately, these other law enforcement agencies have lost one as well. And they'll go through the towns, the riders on the bicycles, and we'll stop and we'll honor these fallen officers. So many different cities and towns do the same thing that we as Myrtle Beach are hosting and doing for these officers.
Boy, Brenda, well, I know that is that's probably emotional for all of y'all, even not knowing those officers, knowing what they go through on a daily basis as they prepare when they wake up in the day, just getting ready for another day, knowing that anything could happen.
Absolutely. It really brings it home and puts it in perspective when you've lost some from your own department.
If a viewer has some time to be there this Friday at 7:30, let's say in Georgetown, or the 10:45 service at Ocean Woods Memorial Cemetery, even the one at 11:30 or 12:30 in Conway, about how long will the ceremony take? I know you highlighted obviously the bagpiping component and the band there. About how long will each of the ceremonies take, if they think they can take a little time off from work, or even if they could attend all of them?
Right. They average about 15 or 20 minutes. Again,
Okay.
we have a little special this year where the surviving family members will actually be presenting checks
Right.
and probably be making a statement on behalf of the loved one that they've lost. But normally they're about 15 or 20 minutes in length.
Okay, so that's something that probably folks can pull away from, although there'll probably be pretty dang big crowds at each of the events, but worthy of getting out, finding a way to get over there to the memorial ceremonies.
Right. We certainly do hope that we have big crowds and support from the public for this
Yes.
worthy event.
Absolutely. Police Unity Tour is not the only thing that you've put your focus on, Brenda. There's another big event coming up in the near term that I think I saw 20 men and women will be experiencing in.
Right, at the end of July, we'll be a group of 20 men and women from a local church here, Palmetto Shores Church. We'll be traveling to Zambia, Africa on a mission trip to an orphanage in Zambia.